Hey everybody, welcome back to SEEYA. And in today's video, we're going to be making copper iodide and copper bromide, both copper halides. The reason I'm going to do this is because copper iodide and copper bromide both are brown, and you often don't see that in copper compounds. Usually they're a bluish tinge. So what we're going to start off doing is recycling this copper sulfate, more like upcycling maybe, because I used it in an electrolysis video that you might have seen a few weeks ago. Anyway, we're going to filter out the copper and some contaminants and use that as our copper 2 source, just for fun. That's a little thing to do. And then after that, we're going to be making copper 1 iodide and copper bromide. Let's start with the copper sulfate. Okay, so here's our first portion of clarified copper sulfate solution. Now that we have our copper sulfate solution clarified and filtered, let's make our potassium iodide solution. I'm just gonna put a few crystals in the bottom of this beaker and add some distilled water. Okay, now I'm just gonna add a little distilled water. Let's prepare our hydrobromic acid solution. Alright, here's where we're going to be making the hydrobromic acid. So what we need to do is combine some sodium bromide with sulfuric acid to make hydrobromic acid that will then react with the copper 2 sulfate to make copper bromide. Copper bromide. Let's weigh out some YOLO. Now let's add some sulfuric acid. Okay, so I just realized how ghetto this video is actually going to be, because in order to make the hydrobromic acid very pure, I'd have to distill it. So I'm not going to distill it, but I'm going to combine the sulfuric acid and sodium bromide in a near stoichiometric ratio to form as much hydrobromic acid as possible, and then I'll combine that with the copper sulfate. And now I'm going to add sulfuric acid, basically randomly, and trust me, I'm a professional. I just frickin' wish my camera would focus. Okay, so if you're seeing what I'm seeing, I successfully prepared some hydrobromic acid, so let's go ahead and make some copper bromide and copper iodide.